The Titanic, a name that still echoes with both wonder and sorrow. She was the largest ship ever built, a floating palace of dreams, a testament to human ingenuity. The Titanic was more than just a ship. She was a symbol of human ambition and the relentless pursuit of progress. Passengers boarded with dreams of a new life, filled with hope and excitement. Her interiors were the epitome of luxury, with grand staircases, opulent dining rooms, and lavish cabins. Every detail was meticulously crafted to offer the pinnacle of comfort and elegance. 3 years of construction, thousands of workers, the finest materials, all poured into this marvel of engineering. The shipyard buzzed with activity as each piece of the Titanic was carefully assembled. She was to be the flagship of the White Star Line, a symbol of luxury and progress. The White Star Line's insignia proudly adorned her hull, a mark of prestige and excellence. They called her unsinkable, a title whispered with pride and confidence. Newspapers and promotional materials boasted of her invincibility, capturing the imagination of the public. Her design, they said, could withstand any disaster. Engineers and designers had pored over every detail, ensuring that she was the safest ship afloat. Double-bottom hull, watertight compartments, surely nothing could sink this mighty vessel. These innovations were heralded as the pinnacle of maritime safety, but fate, as we know, has a way of mocking even the grandest pronouncements. The iceberg that struck her hull revealed the tragic flaw in her design, leading to one of the most infamous maritime disasters in history. April 10th, 1912. Southampton, England buzzed with excitement. The Titanic, gleaming under the spring sunshine, prepared to embark on her maiden voyage. Passengers, a mix of the world's elite and hopeful immigrants, streamed aboard. First-class passengers marveled at the opulent staterooms, the grand dining saloons, the very air of elegance that surrounded them. In steerage, families huddled together, their meager possessions tucked away carefully. The Atlantic Ocean awaited, promising a new life in America. As the ship slowly pulled away from the dock, a wave of cheers erupted from the crowd. The Titanic was off, sailing towards her destiny. The first few days of the journey passed in a blur of luxury and leisure. The Titanic, a marvel of modern engineering, was the epitome of opulence. Passengers marveled at the grand staircase, a symbol of the ship's grandeur, and dined in the lavish first-class dining room where every meal was a feast fit for royalty. The first-class lounge, with its elegant decor and plush seating, was a haven for those seeking relaxation and conversation. First-class passengers indulged in lavish meals, danced to the music of the ship's orchestra, and enjoyed the bracing sea air from their deck chairs. The promenade deck was a popular spot where passengers strolled and mingled, taking in the vast expanse of the ocean. The orchestra played a mix of classical and contemporary tunes, providing a soundtrack to the voyage that was both soothing and exhilarating. Below decks, families shared stories, played games, and dreamt of the opportunities that awaited them in America. The third-class cabins, though modest compared to the first-class accommodations, were a significant improvement over the conditions many passengers had left behind. Children played games in the corridors, their laughter echoing through the ship, while adults discussed their hopes and plans for the future. The sea was calm, the skies clear. The Titanic sailed smoothly through the water, its passengers unaware of the dangers that lay ahead. The twilight sky cast a serene glow over the ocean, creating a sense of peace and tranquility. It was a perfect evening, one that seemed to promise nothing but smooth sailing. But on the night of April 14th, the mood shifted. The ship's lights glittered against the dark sea, casting long shadows on the deck. Passengers who had been enjoying the evening began to notice a change in the atmosphere. Conversations grew quieter, and a sense of unease began to spread. The air grew colder, a stillness settling over the water. The once lively decks became eerily quiet, and the chill in the air was palpable. It was as if the sea itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. The temperature dropped noticeably, and passengers pulled their coats tighter around themselves, seeking warmth. Out in the darkness, far from the warmth and light of the Titanic, a silent threat approached. The vast ocean, which had seemed so inviting during the day, now felt ominous and foreboding. The ship's lookouts strained their eyes, peering into the inky blackness, searching for any sign of danger. An iceberg, massive and unforgiving, drifted into the ship's path. It loomed out of the darkness, a silent sentinel of the sea. The Titanic, despite its size and strength, was no match for this icy giant. The collision was inevitable, and the fate of the ship and its passengers was sealed in that fateful moment. At 11:40 p.m, the lookout's cry pierced the night iceberg right ahead. The ship shuddered as it grazed the icy mass. On the upper decks, some passengers felt a slight jolt, a cause for momentary curiosity but not alarm. Below, however, the impact was felt with terrifying force. Water poured into the ship's forward compartments. The unsinkable Titanic was sinking. Confusion reigned as the gravity of the situation became clear. The order to uncover the lifeboats was given, and the crew began the frantic task of waking passengers and ushering them to the boat deck. Panic began to spread as the angle of the ship grew steeper. Women and children were loaded into the lifeboats first, their cries echoing in the night. The lifeboats, designed to carry over 60 people each, were often lowered only half full. Some passengers refused to leave their loved ones, choosing to face their fate together. Others, in the chaos and confusion, became separated from their families, their desperate cries lost in the din. The band played on, their music a haunting melody against the backdrop of fear and despair. Section 6. The Sounds of Silence. As the last lifeboat pulled away, the Titanic stood alone, her lights blazing defiantly against the darkness. The once majestic ship, now a symbol of impending doom, was a stark contrast to the serene night sky. The passengers in the lifeboats could only watch in horror as the ship that had been their home for the past few days was now a scene of chaos and despair. On board, hundreds of men, women and children faced their fate. The realization that there were not enough lifeboats for everyone had set in, and the atmosphere was one of sheer panic and disbelief. Some clung to the hope that rescue would come, while others resigned themselves to the inevitable. Some prayed, some wept, and some embraced for the last time. The deck was filled with the sounds of final goodbyes, whispered prayers, and the heart-wrenching cries of those who knew they would never see their loved ones again. It was a moment of profound humanity amidst the unfolding tragedy. The band played on, their music a final act of courage in the face of unimaginable terror. Their melodies, a mix of hymns and popular tunes, provided a semblance of normalcy and comfort to those around them. It was a testament to the human spirit, finding strength and solace in the most dire of circumstances. At 2:20 a.m, the great ship slipped beneath the waves, the cries of those left behind swallowed by the icy depths. The Titanic, once hailed as unsinkable, was now a ghostly silhouette disappearing into the ocean. The silence that followed was deafening, a stark reminder of the lives lost in the freezing waters. The night fell silent, save for the sound of the lifeboats bobbing on the water, their occupants staring back at the spot where the Titanic had vanished, forever frozen in time. The survivors, huddled together for warmth, were left to grapple with the enormity of the disaster. The vast empty ocean around them was a haunting reminder of the ship that had once been their beacon of hope, now lost to the depths forever. Section 7. Rescue and Recovery. The Carpathia, responding to the Titanic's distress calls, arrived on the scene at dawn. The sight that greeted them was heartbreaking. A scattering of lifeboats, their occupants huddled against the cold, the vast emptiness of the sea a constant reminder of the tragedy that had unfolded. One by one, the survivors were brought aboard the Carpathia, their faces etched with shock and grief. The search for bodies continued for days, but of the over 2,200 souls aboard the Titanic, only 705 survived. Section 8. Lessons learned. The sinking of the Titanic sent shockwaves around the world. The unsinkable ship had sunk, taking with her the lives of over 1,500 people. The disaster exposed the shortcomings in maritime safety regulations and led to significant changes in the industry. The International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, or SOLAS, was established, mandating that ships carry enough lifeboats for all passengers and crew, and requiring 24-hour radio monitoring. The tragedy of the Titanic, though immense, led to measures that would save countless lives in the years to come. Section 9, A Legacy Remembered. The Titanic may be gone, but her story continues to fascinate and haunt us. She stands as a symbol of human ambition and hubris, a reminder that even the grandest creations are not impervious to the forces of nature. The stories of the passengers and crew, their bravery, their sacrifice, their will to survive continue to resonate. The Titanic serves as a powerful reminder of the fragility of life, the importance of courage in the face of adversity, and the enduring legacy of hope that can arise even from the depths of tragedy.